Okay, so part two of episode 19 of Smack Talk. I wanted to kind of touch a little bit upon this. Maybe not go like too much in depth, possibly because not a whole lot has happened with it. But Santino Marella on the March 5th edition of Raw beat Jack Swagger for the United States Championship. Um, I'm a fan of it, and I'm not at the same time. I like Santino, so I was happy that Santino won a title. But I'm also a fan of Jack Swagger, and he got completely screwed over with this, as far as I'm concerned. Uh, and so did Zack Ryder. Uh, when Ryder won the title, did he
Sorry.
have a single defense other than when he lost it to Swagger?
Nope, not one.
And did Swagger have a single defense before he lost it to Santino? I don't think he
No,
did.
Nope, not to my knowledge. He
no,
didn't.
he did have one defense against oh, what's his name? He had a defense at Elimination Chamber against Dustin Gabriel.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
impromptu defense,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, but that
That's the.
wasn't that had no build or anything to it.
No, no, no wonder it was so highly forgettable. I completely forgot that was on the show.
But to me, I mean, I like Santino, and I always like him having a spotlight and everything like that. But really, does he really need the United States title? They
It's one
could
of
give
those
something
things.
to do without it. It's kind of screw it up. Just the opposite of what has been so awesome with Cody Rhodes with the IC title.
I
They were
think
doing.
with yeah, go on.
I was saying they were doing good with Ziggler too. I mean, he was a long-lasting champion for like half a year, and then when he dropped it to Zack Ryder, I thought they were going for like a long-term face run. After they had a heel hold the belt for so long, and then he just hot shots at Swagger for whatever reason. It completely pulled the rug out from under him for no reason. Now it's just hot shotted to Santino, and who knows how long he's going to hold the belt for.
Well, the way I think I see the situation going is, I believe they needed to get the belt off Swagger because I'm going to give him and Dolph a tag title run because that looks at the way that things are going at the moment. In terms of Santino, they're probably going to get him involved in this GM storyline with David Otunga, and maybe have Otunga and Santino go after each other for that belt. Um, but as far as I'm concerned, I do agree what you're saying about Zack Ryder. Firstly, when he came back, he should have actually had a program with Kane, and secondly, he should be going after that United States Championship again.
Hmm.
So it just literally destroys two different storylines. You take it off a guy who's hasn't really done much with the belt, but again, it's not his own fault. Swagger has just been doing what he's told rather than doing what Ziggler was doing, which was defending the belt every 5 minutes.
Right. They're not giving Swagger a chance.
Yeah, but it was the same with his world title run.
Right.
As soon as he won it off of Jericho, that was it. They gave him a couple of good matches, but he literally got made Big Show's bitch.
Well, his first match was losing to Morrison, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was like jobbing right out when you're the champion.
they did a Rey Mysterio with the guy basically,
Yeah. And
Worse.
and he could have looked credible, but they didn't give him a chance to look credible. It's like you can have the belt and not win matches and still look credible. Look at Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan looks amazingly credible. They could have done something like that easily with Swagger, but they didn't do that. And the same thing goes for the United States Championship. He was literally didn't even have matches. I can't even remember any matches he had on television.
yeah, I can't remember any off the top of my head. I mean, I think he might have had one against Ryder, right?
No, he had one match when he won the belt off Ryder,
I thought he might have
but
had one
Ryder
more.
wasn't cleared to compete, so he's like beating the living shit out of the guy.
Uh, he was off TV. It seemed like a month
Yeah,
after he won the belt. He
might as
might have
well
been
have
in
kept the belt
backstage
on.
skits with like Vicky or something, just standing there like a tool. But I don't think he actually competed for a long time. There seemed to be like a 3 week stretch before the Royal Rumble where he was not featured at all
Right.
on
Why didn't they just
television.
have Swagger? not win the belt, and just leave it on Ryder. Let Ryder get killed with the belt on.
hmm He
Might
could
as well
just
have just
come
done
back
that.
with the title. Or
Exactly.
this is one thing that I'm kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit here, but when I'm trying to figure out what they're doing with WrestleMania this year, the only things I can think of that we haven't had yet, there's no official Laurinaitis Teddy Long match, but it seems like it's going to be a tag match of some sort. And then they seem to be building towards Kofi and R-Truth, at least just them against Epico and Primo, possibly with the addition of uh, what they're calling themselves American Perfection right now, Swagger and Ziggler. Uh, but at the same time, what are they going to do with the Miz? Now they could throw the Miz in with the Laurinaitis stuff, but there's not many faces that can really go in that kind of a thing. So that's kind of all thrown up in the air and everything like that. But one idea that I had, and the likelihood of this happening is probably slim to none. But you tell me right now what I would do to get Miz on the card. I would say, okay, well, we need a Divas match because there's always a Divas match, and you need another bathroom break kind of a thing. Clearly, they're not setting up Karma versus Beth, and they're not setting up Beth versus Natalia. So why don't they do Ryder teaming up with Kelly Kelly against The Miz teaming up with Eve Torres? I would have set that up from the very beginning because Miz has nothing to do right now. So to do that, why not give Miz the United States title? Have him be like, you know what? I'm on a little bit of a rut with the WWE title. Let me go back to the one I had right before that, win the United States title, and get back in the swing of things. He could have been the one that faced Ryder, and then you could have had a Miz and Ryder feud. You kill two birds with one stone with that. Give Miz somebody to work with, but not a main event feud. Give Ryder somebody to work with who Ryder could win a match against the Miz and people will cheer, and it won't make either of them look bad or too fantastic and everything like that. Like, so giving it to Swagger to me just seems like they only did it because they wanted it off of Ryder. And
Sorry.
why did they want it off of Ryder? Why did Ryder get this giant push just for them to write him off TV at the busiest part of the year? He has nothing for WrestleMania right now. He went this giant push of his, and they want him to be just fodder for Kane. And
Well,
it's just now not only is Ryder getting screwed, but Swagger's getting screwed, and the United States title's being screwed.
I still think they're building towards some sort of mixed tag match. It seems that way, unless they're just going to do even Kelly in a singles match. But that'd be totally ridiculous. Because then it's like, well,
Right.
this feud's based off of Zack Ryder, so how could he not be involved?
Maybe he'll be like
Right.
at ringside.
Well, that's
Bullshit.
that would be horrible. But I was just thinking about that the other day. You're saying pair Miz and Eve up because I, for the life of me, if they are going that route, can't think of anybody else who they could possibly pair her up with. If they're going to go the mixed tag direction. So I
Me,
could
yeah,
see
go
that
on.
happening.
I could see that happening, but the same sense, I don't see Miz as a United States title guy anymore because I believe he's in that upper mid card section
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
where
mean, wouldn't
he
that
can
just
win the
elevate
world
the title?
title every now and then. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I
With
don't
it
think
be
the United States title he needs that belt. And
well,
my whole quip with the WWE about putting a major or a mid card title on an upper mid card or a world, or someone who belongs up in the higher card. It makes no bloody sense. But he could still be the guy that maybe Eve ends up using to help her go, get back at Zack Ryder for something. Because as the way the storyline's going at the moment, I've got a funny feeling that he's going to be in a situation where Kelly's going to be like, "Oh, Zack, don't go with Eve, and she fucked you over," and then Eve and Zack's going to make all these bad decisions, and then they're going to end up fighting in a match over Zack Ryder, and then Zack Ryder ends up seeing the light in the end.
Hmm.
that looks like the way it's gonna go, and I don't think Zach's gonna have a match. I think it's just gonna be a normal Divas piss break between Kelly
but he's just
Kelly and
going to be
Eve.
the guy at ringside, is what you're saying, which
Yep,
is a
arm
complete
candy.
waste of him on the show.
No, I agree with you. That's like putting Jim Cornette on a show to wrestle when he should be managing.
Right.
But yeah, the whole Ryder Eve thing, you would assume it's building towards some sort of mixed tag. You
That's what
know,
you would assume, but I've got a
to
funny
get
feeling.
because I thought the whole point of the undercard is to get your stars on the show, is to get them on the card.
But we're talking about
And
WWE creative,
well, I
Right.
know we are, but you
and
think
how many times have they made a stupid decision
Which is why
where
I think that this Santino U.S. title reign has no bearing whatsoever on the U.S. title.
yeah,
I
it's
think
just
this is one of those things that they just kind of did.
yeah,
Like,
sort
oh,
of like we're
Santino's fun
rewarding
right
you
now. Give him the
because
title.
you're awesome at the moment.
Santina's getting a bunch of big pops. Throw a U.S. title on him.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty
Eh,
much.
he might be good as champion for a bit. We'll see how long it lasts.
Which,
Yeah,
by the way, I am a fan of Otunga, but I don't want to see him necessarily win the title right
he
now.
probably will win the title.
But if
Maybe
they
not at
do
Mania,
have him
maybe after Mania.
if they do have him win it, at least I would hope that they put some effort into it, which they won't. They'll
No,
just they'll be too busy with their 3 match card for this year of WrestleMania, the Hell in a Cell match, Rock and Cena, and to a very small extent, Punk versus Jericho.
Yeah, because even Sheamus and Bryan has no hype or hate between the two of them at all, and we're
yeah.
like almost 3 weeks away from the show.
And the one
Biggest
thing
show of
that
the year.
pisses me off, why don't they fucking mention last year? Why don't they mention the whole US title feud that they had?
Yeah,
Why aren't they going back into the past of the situations? This is one of those situations where you need to look at their past and how Sheamus actually won the United States title before, and have Brian go back into it and say, "Well, it's not going to happen this time around." Blah blah blah. I'm great. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, those two got bumped off the card so The Rock could speak for 17 minutes at the
About
Exactly.
beginning of the
about why
show,
you should go and watch WrestleMania, which you're already watching.
Exactly.
which completely pissed me off. But that's another
That's another
story for
story,
another
yeah.
time.
That whole pay-per-view pissed me off, but I'm not going to go
So
too much into it.
Yeah. So the way that this Santino win goes, like I like I said, in general, I am a big fan of Santino. I like it when they push Santino. Uh, I would always be up for him being a tag champion with anybody, for the most part. Uh, there was a rumor that they were going to tag up Santino with R Truth instead of Kofi Kingston with R Truth, and to me that would have made much more sense.
two
But
comedic characters playing off of each other. That would have been pretty interesting, actually. I'm like, wow, why would they ever nix that idea? That would have probably gotten over pretty good.
right, and the two of them could have been on every card as tag champs, and I don't think it would have been encroaching on anything. But right now, the U.S. title on Santino, as much as Santino's entertaining and stuff, you give a championship to a comedic character, it devalues the title, and then they start losing faith in it, and then they stop using it in the sense that you're supposed to be using it. And we're looking 3 months probably time before this U.S. title gets back to mid card standard, as far as I'm concerned.
No, I agree with you on that one. They
Unless it's
just need
already
to do
there.
something with it.
So basically, we're all sort of in agreement. The U.S. title, as long as they do something with it, it's okay because Santino is cool. But if they're just hot shotting it, then they need to hot shot it once more to somebody who they actually put some effort into, right?
Yeah, because I mean, just you had the belt on the perfect guy after they took it off Ziggler, and then you know that I mean, let it go a month, and they just toss it, and then they don't even let that go a month, and they toss it again just because Santino's getting big pops.
Yeah.
There's no commitment there. It's just like, ooh, who's the most recent mid Carter who seems to be getting some sort of reaction? Oh, Santino, or 1 month it's Kofi Kingston.
Yeah. Well, next month it'll probably be Hornswoggle the way that they.
You know what I mean? So that's always annoying.
So
But
part 3, we're going
yeah.
to talk about the Rock and Cena promo. A little bit more talk about the same kind of stuff like that. What happened on Raw this week between all the colonial crap and check out part 3 coming up right after this one.